Good morning and happy Sunday. Welcome to the coffee bar. I'm Michelle. I am your go to visibility and marketing coach for introverted women coaches. And I'm here to help introverted female coaches like yourself to use the power of storytelling so that you can turn a passion for coaching into a profitable business. Today, we are going to dive deep into something that's really dear to every single coach's heart: how to attract more clients. And if this is your goal, then I want you to put down your favorite emoji down in the comment down below and stay tuned because I got some really great tips that I wanted to share with you. These are the three things that I have decided to ditch so that I can start attracting more clients. So I would love to hear if you're watching this live, if you're joining me live today, like when you think about 6 months away from today and your calendar is fully booked with the clients that you love to work with, you're actually don't have to be sitting in front of a computer trying to figure out and pulling your hair out with the messaging that actually attract. What would that look like for you? Like, what is your use a favorite emoji and just drop into the comment if you have that ability to attract the clients that you want to work with in 6 months of time, and you don't have to worry about your messaging, like nothing stick, nothing works. What would that look like for you? Like, what's your favorite emoji for that? Well, so if you are on this channel, I'll be sharing a lot of practical strategies and tips on branding, storytelling, and marketing. And together, we're going to actually boost your visibility and the way that you actually attract clients that feels authentic and that feels real. Because I think a lot of the marketing strategy that's out there right now, I don't know. I'm not a fluffy person. I don't have a lot of fluff. I don't like fluff. And every time I come across any fluffy post, it just like really drives me away, and I just don't like it. And if you're watching this video from my Facebook group, I need you to do me a favor. There's a link inside this group right above this video. If you go ahead and click that, you're going to allow StreamYard to give me the permission to showcase and give you a shout out inside the group, so that when I do this, okay, it doesn't come up as a Facebook user. So if you can just give StreamYard that permission to showcase your name, I promise it's not going to send you any spammy emails or anything like that. It's just so that, because it's a third party app, and those of you who this is an educational moment. So those of you who uses StreamYard, or you see people using StreamYard, a lot of times you'll see that permission link to give that permission so that we can use a third party app. So this is a third party app that I'm streaming. So there's three things that I have really learned to start to attract client, and it wasn't overnight thing, right? And I was just talking on another call in a networking event that I had this morning, and we were talking about what do you call that? We were just talking about, like, when you attract client, there's a lot of things that we go through. There's a lot of challenges and obstacles, and how does my message stick to someone? How does it resonate? How do I create it so that more people would hear me, they want to stay, and how can I capture their attention? So there's a lot of how do I do this, and that creates a lot of thinking. And while you're thinking about all these answers to all these questions, chances are you're also getting paralyzed because it's so overwhelming, right? And so these are the three things that I have learned that really help me to drop everything that I know about what is it I need to do in order to start attracting client. And so the first thing that I ditched was the belief that only referral and in person are the important stuff that I need to do in order to start attracting client. When I first got out of coaching program, I was looking around in my town. I went to Chamber of Commerce. I went to all these networking events, and they were all in person. And when I first started out, I was working a full-time job. and I'm trying to grow my business so that my business is enough. It's healthy enough, it's strong enough so that I can quit my full-time job. And those of you who work full-time job, you know that your time is very limited. If you're someone who works Monday through Friday, your working schedule maybe look like 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So like a lot of these networking events that happen 11 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, like I don't have the time to drop everything and say, you know what, today I'm going to call in sick and I'm just going to go to the networking event. So I was losing a lot of opportunity with the in-person networking event because I couldn't attend to those events. And while people are telling me, hey, you got to go and networking with the people within your industry, within your profession, so that you can connect with them, they'll send you referral. That's great, but my schedule just simply doesn't allow that. And so I had to be really intentional and clever about how I manage my time. So my first year, that idea of I need to be in person in order to get client, that was completely done. I ditched that. Forget that. I don't have the time to do networking in person. So I'm going to figure out a way that will work for my schedule. And sometimes it means that maybe on Saturday or Sunday, I may attend or connect with my friends, my the people who are also in business. I might be able to connect with them on the Saturday and Sundays, which means that you're also sacrificing a little bit of your time on the weekend. So instead of spending the time with your family, you end up going to an event on the weekend. So you kind of have to juggle and see what becomes your priority, right? And when it comes to networking event or in person or referral, I set up a boundary where if this relationship that we're cultivating, it's not beneficial or it's not a mutual connection, then immediately said, you know what, maybe this is the least important things I need to do. So that first belief was that referrals and in-person connection are the only way to grow your client base. That was like the first thing I decided, no, it's not going to work for me and I don't want that. And so I started out building my business online on social media. And that completely changed my outlook and my feel, and the it really broadens my reach to more people. Now I don't have to limit myself to a region, right? I don't need to just serve people in the Los Angeles area. That's where I'm at. I don't need to just serve people in the Los Angeles area. I can actually serve internationally. I can broaden my reach. I can connect with people overseas. And so it really opens up a lot of doors and opportunity of how I can connect with people. The second thing, so that was the first thing I did. The idea that, I hate social media. I don't want social media to, you know what? I'm going to use it as a tool and I'm going to use it as a networking tool. So you'll see me a lot of time hanging out on social media because it's a great way to connect with people. Like despite the fact that it's noisy and there's a lot of like, yeah, the I don't need that kind of negativity, that kind of deal. But like I feel if you can set an intention, set a goal for yourself and setting up a healthy boundary, you can actually use it in your advantage. So that was the first thing. The second thing that I did was that the fact that I need to narrow myself into a specific niche. That was like another idea that I ditched altogether, because when I first started out, that was not my intention. I wanted to serve everybody, and I know I'm pretty sure a lot of you probably share the same feeling, right? And in reality, it does. Your coaching business can serve a lot of people. And so I felt this pressure of being put on to a lot of coaches that, and this is something another thing that we talked about. There's a lot of pressure being put on to a lot of coaches that, hey, you need to narrow your niche. You need to stay focused. You want your business, you want to attract your clients, and you have to narrow down your niche. And so when people tell you, and we all know this as coach, that sometimes the advice doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Because it's not, you're not connected to whatever that you're saying, the advice, right? So we go against the advice and we go out of our way. And sometimes that actually has a negative impact on us because the more that we fight about it, the more we feel exhausted, we feel tired. And the fact that you keep circling around and you can't find your niche, that's like another analysis paralysis over analysis, you just decided, you know what, maybe I just don't have what it takes. But like, ditch that idea, right? Stop listening to other people's advice and just follow your heart. So so let's go back. So that first step was I ditched the idea that I only do in person to get clients. So that was my first step. The second step was, what, you know what? I'm just going to talk to as many people as I can on social media. You have a life? Great. Let's talk. And that was my whole thing about making connections on social media everywhere I go, or networking or podcasting. My whole thing is I want to learn more about you. I want to make that connection. And you may not be my ideal client, but that's not my intention, because my clients is not going to be everybody, right? We all know that later on. But initially, I just want to get to know people. And that really broadens up my online presence. So I have friends from different niche. I have friends from different network event. I have friends from different circle that I participate and join. And when you look at the overall benefit of having a broad audience, is that out of those audience, let's say this person, Mary is not within your niche, right? But you're willing to step out of your niche, your own niche, you connect with Mary, and Mary happened to know someone else who would be a perfect client for you because you told Mary that you do X, Y, and Z. And even though Mary is not within your network, Mary is not your ideal client, and Mary is not someone that you want to target, you just open yourself up to a connection that Mary has. And all you did was you connect with Mary. And so a lot of people have this belief that I need to narrow my niche, because in order to grow my coaching business, I need to find my ideal client so I can connect with them. But then you're missing out the whole point of being on social media. Being on social media means that you can broaden your reach, broaden your connection. And sometimes it means that you're not reaching out to people within your network. Why? Because you're asking them to connect with other people that they know of, who might be your ideal clients. And that's something later on that you'll discover exactly what is my niche as you go into this coaching business journey. So the second thing I did was that, online is a great opportunity. It connects you with a lot of people, and it gives you the opportunity to reach out to so many, and you have the time flexibility. So you got to embrace that online opportunity by allowing yourself to grow that audience. You want that audience, you want that connection. Have a genuine conversation with everybody that you know of, and don't feel like you have to sell to them. You have to pitch to them, because nobody likes to be sold to, right? So you want to create that genuine human connection, and you build that relationship, and who knows, that person might know somebody who might be your ideal client, and that's how you get your referral online. Okay, so that was the second thing that I did. The second thing I did was I stopped focusing on I need to nail my niche. Stop it, just stop it. Okay. Now, once you ditch that idea, and I'm not saying that it's not important, it is important to have a specific area that you're going to focus on, that you are the expert, and because it's easier for people to understand what is it that you do. But that's for later on, So the order in which that you grow your online presence, you establish your brand, the order in which that take place, it's really important. You have to understand that in order for this coaching business to work. Okay. It frustrates me that people have a small audience, and they're trying to figure out, get their word out, and they're not really expanding and utilizing social media the right way. All right. The third thing that I did, and this is probably the most game-changing idea that I did, was the idea of I need to get clients. I know it's so paradoxical and ironic that the very thing that blocks you from getting clients is the idea of getting clients. And we all so backtrack, right? The story is that years ago, when I first started out, I was having this urge of wanting to attract client. I wanting to get clients. And in order for me to get clients, I need to do a lot of things. I need to do my social media. I need to create some posts. I need to, making connection. I need to sending people DM. And every time I have a workshop, I need to go to individual messaging. I need to invite people to send a link. So there's a lot of to-dos when you're thinking about getting clients. And that creates a really if you're an iPad coach, you'll understand this term. It's called catabolic energy, right? The catabolic energy is like negative energy. Negative energy, it creates a lot of negative energy because you're thinking about how do I get them? How do I get them? And everything that you do is about getting them. But you don't get people. You don't get people. There's nothing that you do will get people. You can attract them because they resonate with the stuff that you're saying. They resonate with the fact that you have a beautiful smile. You turn on your video and you're just being human on the live videos and talking about the things that you have gone through. And so people are attracted to the energy. And when you find yourself not getting any clients, chances are there's a energy, there's a roadblock, there's a internal block inside that's preventing you from attracting that clients. And that I remember what was blocking me was my mindset. And my money mindset became an issue because that first year when I started out business, I was paying a lot of things. I was paying my coaching certification tuition, so I took out a payment plan, and I was doing that payment plan. So I was paying that. I was also paying a lot of subscription, and I know you can all relate to this. You end up subscribing to a lot of things, right? Your calendar, your emails, your website, all these subscription money adds up. And you didn't have any income coming in yet. And so your income and outflow has an imbalance. And what happened was that first year, I was looking at $2,500 in my bank, in my saving account. And that's all I have left. And so I found myself in this panicking state where I need to get more clients. Otherwise, I'm going to be running out of money. And running out of money means that I need to just close the shop and throw this away altogether because this is not working out for me. And that happened to me that first year. I was running out of fund to fund my money so that I can have this full-time coaching business. And I was sitting there in my room and I was thinking, okay, so how do I get more client? And I caught myself. I remember I was on a discovery call one day with this potential client, and I caught myself thinking the whole entire time, how can I turn this person into my paying client? And I was trying so hard convincing this person on the call to, hey, this is good for you, this is good for you. And when you come off like you're trying to convince someone that, hey, coaching really worked for you, and you're working so hard, and when you're working too hard about it, people can sense it, and they'll just jump off, they'll just hop away, and they will never come back. And so I caught myself after that call, holy cow, this is what I was doing. I was in that mindset of, if I don't get this clients, that means I'm going to run out of fund. And that was the most important and transformational belief that I caught myself. And I needed to fix that. I needed to fix that. So the second discovery call, I had to sit myself down and get myself a prep talk. And I said to myself, you know what? This is it. What's the worst that can happen? The worst that can happen is I'm just going to go back to my full-time job. And, this was just, oh, it was nice. I just had an idea and it just didn't work out. And so I completely ditched the idea of I need to get that client. And on that call, it was the most amazing and powerful calls that I have ever delivered. And all I focused on was I was just sitting there and listening. I listen and I deliver, I chime in on where the opportunity would be. And it was a 45 minutes call. It was a 45 minutes discovery call. And the person, she came onto the call, and she felt so powerful that very same day, and she found me through Google search. She found me through Google search, and she booked a discovery call. And after 45 minutes, she said, I'm going to pay you to be my coach. How do I do that? And how do you charge? So I gave her the rundown of how much I was charging. And she said, okay. So I said, would you like me to take your car? So we can take care of the payment. She said, yes, here's the car number. And we took care of the payment right there and then. And that was within what, 4 5 months into my coaching business. And it was all because I dropped that belief that I need to get the clients. I was I was really pressed by the fact that I was running out of fund to fuel my coaching business. So if you're thinking about how do I get more clients, the number one idea, if you walk away with nothing at all today, walk away with the fact that when you say that, you're actually sending out to the universe that something desperately is happening in your life, in your business right now. And when you do that, people can sense it, people can notice it. And chances are it's going to show up on your calls. It's going to show up the fact that you're working way too hard trying to get that client. But if you just let that go, let that idea go, and just go in and show up and deliver the values, really helping that person, whether that person signed up with you or not, you're going to go in and help that person and just make it a very value pack, life changing. And the way that I teach my student is that you want to get onto that call and you want to treat that person as if that person is already your client. And you have, if you're working with that person and that person is already your client, you're not going to hold back any information that you saw the opportunity would be, right? So you go in and you deliver value because you saw there's opportunity in here, and you're going to talk to that person as if that person is already your client. And that's how you want to deliver your discovery call. And at the end of that call, of course, you want to offer and give the permission of, hey, would it be okay if I share how you can work with me? And that becomes a natural flow. And that first initial mindset shift is that you have to drop that idea of I'm going to get that clients, because getting is not as attractive as attracting clients. Okay. All right. So 3 things that you have to ditch right now in order to attract clients, attract your coaching client is: number one, you you need to embrace the social media world. Okay. Social media is here to stay. And the reason why you are on social media is so that you can have more time. Actually, you do have more time. You have full control of when you want to be on social media. You have full control of where do you want to be on social media. So you actually have control by using social media as a tool. So it's not just the referral, not just the in-person connection that will allow you to get your client and grow your coaching clients base, but it's also social media, use it as a tool. And the second thing that you need to embrace is that you open up a lot of opportunity, not just by narrowing your niche, but actually growing a bigger audience. You need a larger audience so that through those audience would actually allow you to make different connection, and that connection will lead to your potential client, that will lead to more conversation, and through those conversations you're going to attract more clients. So if you have a small audience, focus on where do you want to go to get more conversation, so that through those conversations you can attract your clients. And the third thing that you need to ditch today is that mindset of I need to get my clients. Okay. That send off a negative vibe to people. People can sense it, people can pick it up right away. And if you're really in that desperate mode of I need to get clients, otherwise I have to go back to my 9 to 5 job, then that's a mindset. And perhaps you would want to talk to your coach about it, to work through that before you jump onto your next discovery call. Okay. So remember, in order to attract clients, it has a lot to do with the energy that you have within you. Okay. So ditch those old beliefs and you got to start embracing the new opportunity. What does that new opportunity looks like? Looks like you may need to start using social media as a tool, and you might even want to consider incorporating ChatGPT. Okay, I've been showing a lot of my students using these prompts, using these mega prompts to ask ChatGPT doing a lot of things. So you got to embrace. There's change that we're constantly experiencing, and that's okay. That's something normal. That's something good, and you evolve because the whole entire world is evolving. So you got to embrace your approach as well. You want to refine your approach. All right. So hopefully this conversation has been helpful, and stay tuned at another coffee bar latte lesson. So I figure this would be a great time for you to grab your latte, get comfy, and come in and check out at my coffee bar, where I'm going to share a lot of these insights that I personally went through, and perhaps you might find it helpful in the future. And if you are not in my community yet, be sure to join my community. Every week on Monday, I send out story starters to all my members in community, and that they can use it as a sentence starter so that they can start attracting more clients. So if you're interested to join, be sure to go to community.attractclientthroughstorytelling.com, and you'll be able to become part of my community, and you'll get the story starter every Monday, and you're also getting a podcast episode every Friday. And if you're watching this on YouTube channel, be sure to hit that subscribe and bell so that you don't miss out my new upcoming episode. I will see you on the next lesson.